I've had enough of y'all's bullshit. I've had enough. You want to hack me? You want to foul me? Referees? Whoa. Got to be more careful. I mean, this was an ugly, ugly game. It was an ugly win.
That's not frustration anymore. That's a player who decided tonight was the night she stopped asking nicely. Caitlin Clark just put the entire WNBA officiating crew on notice, and the Indiana Fever walked out of that arena with a 90-82 win that looked nothing like the box score suggests.
Aliyah Boston might have had the most quiet 16 rebounds I've ever seen in a game. I didn't even realize it. I mean, literally just look, it was as we were closing in towards the last 2 or 3 minutes, I looked up at the box score and was like, that's the quietest 16 rebounds I have possibly ever seen.
16 rebounds. 16. And nobody noticed until the final 2 minutes of the game. Aliyah Boston had what might be the quietest dominant performance of the entire season. And the reason it was quiet tells you everything about what kind of game this actually was. Ugly, physical, borderline unwatchable at stretches. But Indiana found a way.
But I know one thing. Holy shit, they can't hit a layup to save their life. I mean, they had open shots. They had drives to the basket. They were way off. I mean, way off. So, the final score, 90-82. By the way, I was told by the media this game would absolutely sell out. This game still did not sell out.
Here's what the Golden State Valkyries fans don't want to hear. This game was theirs to take. Open layups, open drives, open looks in the paint. They missed them all. And the league office had this one circled as a guaranteed sellout, a marquee Caitlin Clark road game in San Francisco. It didn't sell out. Close, but not there. Part of that's on the Valkyries front office, who let Kate Martin walk to the Los Angeles Sparks before the season, the exact player a lot of those Bay Area fans bought tickets to see.
Score, I got to tell you, let's start with the Valkyries, because they could not hit water. I mean, look at this. 0 of 6, 1 of 4, 2 of 8, 4 of 12, 1 of 8, 1 of 3. They could not score tonight. Veronica Burton had 17, 10 points. And that was the only two double-digit folks that the Valkyries had.
Look at those shooting splits one more time. 0 of 6, 1 of 4, 2 of 8, 4 of 12 from the starters. Janelle Salon and Veronica Burton were the only Valkyries in double figures, and Burton needed 17 attempts to get to her 17 points. When your entire offense is built around catch-and-shoot looks and you can't convert from inside the restricted area, you're not losing because of defense. You're losing because the basketball won't go in the basket.
Aliyah Boston, 20 points on 8 of 15, 16 boards, 3 blocks. And Caitlin Clark, I was like, I guess Caitlin Clark cannot get this last assist. We just can't figure out a way to get Caitlin Clark this last assist so we could get a double-double. Nah, didn't happen. 17 of 15, 4 of 9 from three-point range. Her three-point shot is back, folks. She hit a logo for 3 tonight, and she absolutely got in the Valkyries' face. Well, look, 22 for her, 9 assists.
Now the Fever's big three. This is the conversation nobody's having loud enough. Aliyah Boston, 20 points on 8 of 15 shooting, 16 boards, 3 blocks. Kelsey Mitchell, 19 points, but 4 of 10 from the field, and that's the problem we'll come back to. And Caitlin Clark, 17 points, 4 of 9 from 3, 9 assists, 2 boards. 1 assist away from a double-double, and the Fever could not find a way to feed her that 10th dime down the stretch. The Clark three-point shot is back. After weeks of speculation about her form, her wrist, her confidence, she went 4 of 9 from deep, including a logo 3 that I want to talk about specifically in a moment.
Kelsey Mitchell, rough night. 19 points, but 4 of 10. And look, I'm going to be real about Kelsey. Boy, she is stuck on a lot of dribble, shoot. I found myself screaming at the TV at one point going, pass the ball again. Nope. Soon as she got the ball, dribble, clank, brick. I was like, okay, great. Sophie Cunningham, 11 points, 4 for 8 shooting.
Kelsey Mitchell is becoming a problem in this offense, and I'm going to say it because somebody has to. Dribble, 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 shoot. That's the entire pattern. Watch any possession where she catches the ball above the break, and count how many times she passes it. The answer is usually 0. Sophie Cunningham finished with 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Lexi Hull provided real minutes off the bench, and that's becoming a critical issue because the Indiana Fever's bench depth, even in a winning effort, is still paper thin.
She's coming down, pulls up for a long 3. Boom. Knocks it down. Caitlin Clark, I said it. I put a post up and said, Caitlin Clark is just like, F it. Gonna do it myself. I'm loving this. I'm watching this come in with the little fade back floater. Who did that remind me of? Reminded me of Mike. That's right. Be like Mike, folks.
That right there is the moment the game turned. Logo 3, pull up, no hesitation. And then she got directly into Tiffany Hayes' face on the very next possession. Caitlin Clark went full dark side tonight, and I mean that as the highest possible compliment. Every time she's been hacked, every time she's been hit with a hip check that doesn't get called, every time a defender has thrown a shoulder into her midsection while the referees swallow the whistle, it's been building toward this.
Right after hitting that long-ass 3 right in her grill. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Caitlin said, no, we're not doing this. It felt like Caitlin got some frustration. A little exorcism performed. The frustration was leaving her body as we were watching this game. Caitlin on the drive, by the way.
She's done asking. That's the entire shift. For 2 seasons now, the conversation around Caitlin Clark has been about restraint, about maturity, about not engaging with the physicality, about letting her game speak. Well, her game spoke tonight, and the message was that if the league won't protect her, she's going to start protecting herself by burying threes from the logo and staring down defenders on the way back up the floor.
They don't give you a do-over, but tonight, the freaking officiating was awful. It was garbage. Dog shit. My God. The defense, I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh yeah, look at the Valkyries and how many shots they missed." That wasn't defense. They took open shots and they just flat missed them. They had opportunities. If the Valkyries could have hit layups tonight.
Now let's talk about officiating. Because anyone who's watched this channel knows I do not lean on the referees as an excuse. I think it's a crutch. I think coaches who blame the refs are coaches who don't know how to make halftime adjustments. But the officiating in this game was indefensible. There were possessions where Clark got hit with 2 hands on a drive and the whistle stayed silent. There were possessions where a Valkyrie defender body-checked Aliyah Boston in the post, and play continued. This is the same officiating problem the league has had for 2 years, and it is actively hurting the product.
Some credit, Caitlin Clark once again. Guys, I don't know if you're noticing, Caitlin Clark is having a sneaky big season. If she can stay healthy and stay on the court, guys, she got a chance to win the MVP. That's a thing. You know, if she averages 23, 24, and 9 or 10, averages a...
Here's where we land, and I want you to sit with this for a minute, because the implications go way beyond one ugly Tuesday night win in San Francisco. Caitlin Clark is having a sneaky elite season, and almost nobody is talking about it in MVP terms. The narrative this year has been about A'ja Wilson chasing a 4th MVP. It's been about Nafisa Collier in Minnesota putting up historic numbers. It's been about Breanna Stewart's playoff push in New York. Clark's name has been treated like a sophomore slump story, or an injury management story, or a media circus story. It has not been treated like an MVP story. But look at where she is right now. The 3-point shot has returned to her rookie year efficiency. She's averaging close to a double-double in points and assists. She is doing this on a Fever team that frankly does not have the supporting cast a typical MVP candidate enjoys. Aliyah Boston is excellent, but she's not a #1 option on a championship team yet. Kelsey Mitchell is a high-volume scorer who creates inefficient looks. Sophie Cunningham is a role player. The depth behind those four falls off a cliff. When Clark sits, this offense stops functioning. That's the definition of a most valuable player. Now think about the missed layups and the shooting nightmare from the Valkyries. There's a temptation, especially on social media tonight, to credit Indiana's defense for that. Don't. The Valkyries took open looks and missed them, and the league-wide layup percentage is genuinely one of the biggest stories in the W right now that nobody outside of die-hard analytics people is discussing. Players are missing point-blank shots at a rate that would get you cut from a high school program. That's a development pipeline issue. That's a college-to-pro transition issue. That's a roster construction issue. And it makes nights like this one, where a team takes 30 open jumpers and converts 6 of them, look like defense when it's really just basketball failing on its most basic level. The Indiana Fever needed this win in a way that the standings don't fully capture. They've had a frustrating stretch. They've had the trend we saw again tonight, where they come out hot in the first quarter, give back the lead in the second, and then have to claw their way back in the second half. That is not the rhythm of a contender. Contenders bury teams. Contenders don't get into 8-point grinders against expansion franchises who can't shoot. So if you're a Fever fan tonight, you take the win, you appreciate Boston's quiet masterpiece on the glass. You celebrate Clark's logo 3 and her refusal to be intimidated, and then you ask the hard question on the way home. Is this team actually getting better? Or are they just surviving on the back of one transcendent talent who's running out of patience with everyone, including the officials, including the opposing benches, including her own offensive system? Because here's what I keep coming back to. If Caitlin Clark stays healthy, if she stays on the floor, if she keeps shooting from the logo and driving into contact and demanding the calls she's earned, she is in the MVP conversation, not as a courtesy, not as a marketing narrative, as a legitimate top 3 finisher. 23 or 24 points a game, 9 or 10 assists, a real double-double average from a guard in this league. That wins trophies. The question is whether the league office, the officiating crew, and frankly the rest of the Fever roster will let her get there. Because tonight she sent a message. She put the league on notice. And if you missed it, go back and watch that stare down after the logo 3 one more time. That wasn't a basketball moment. That was a turning point. So tell me in the comments, is Caitlin Clark a real MVP candidate this season? Or is the supporting cast around her going to drag this team back to the middle of the pack before she can put up the numbers to win it? Pick a side, don't give me both. And if you want more of this kind of breakdown, hit subscribe, make sure your notifications are on, and I'll see you for the next one.